In a world filled with dreams and promises, sometimes the allure of a better life can blind even the most discerning of individuals. This man was scammed by his son as he hoped to get rich quicker, but little did he know that his son's ambitious plan to escape poverty would entangle him in a web of deceit, disappointment, and left him losing everything to a witch doctor. But what led this man to place such unwavering trust in his son and the witch doctor's promises? And why would the boy con his own father from riches to ruin? This is the scam that destroyed Idrisa's life. My name is Mukumbi Idrisa. I live here. I have 6 children on 2 different wives. The elder wife has 4 children and the young one has 2. In October 2021, that's when my son Warakira took me to a thief that had stolen him. He had disguised him as a witch doctor, but I realized later he is a scammer. Warakira took his father to a witch doctor, convincing him that the witch would turn him into a mega rich man. And the witch doctor gave them a bag full of money. But before coming, Idrisa never knew where the boy was taking him, as they sat on a motorbike and he found himself in a place where they were practicing some rituals. We sat down as they welcomed us. Some guys were lighting up firewood, but without cooking. I took a close look and noticed that we were inside a witch doctor's house. I felt uncomfortable and wanted to return, but my son told me to wait. A man came and told us to come forward, but ordered us to first wash our feet before entering, as they had to power some herbs on our feet. Inside there was too much darkness, and the door had a black curtain. Next to him seated a man wearing things from animal skins, and he greeted them as if that was really his son, and he said yes. In his words he said, "I'm going to make you rich," and added, "I wouldn't do it with your presence." He started prophesying that I'm going to build a house that I should make it bigger and a 2-story building, adding that we're also going to have cars. So he gave us what looked like keys and ordered us to throw them in the toilet pit. I hung the key above the toilet while my boy threw it in the toilet pit. We went back to the wizard. He opened a bag full of money and advised us not to waste that amount of money on prostitutes. He added that in case we want to give it away, we should rather take it to a church or mosque. There was just one condition: to bring them 18 cows as a reward. But the man replied that 18 cows are too costly, since one costs 2 million Ugandan shillings, which is approximately $545. Where would I get them? I said. And I told my son to leave the money and go back home, as we had failed. The witch doctor got outside and returned after 10 minutes, telling me that the elders are not happy with me. How would you fail to make a fortune? You've been poor your entire life, so how miss out on the chance to make it in life? He said. The next morning, they packed some money and left. This man was told to sell his plot of land so that he would gather enough to secure the bag full of money that would see his life changed forever. He went and sold all he had and took some loans, and then took the money to the witch doctor, who said that the elders were still not happy as they delayed, and charged them even more money and 38 black gods as a fine. I gave him 1,200,000 Ugandan shillings, and after one day he called me and said I should go to Banyoro Mountain, the place I've never been. We did our best because we wanted that large sum of money, and when we reached there, he said he was on his way. After hours waiting, he said the car had a breakdown and was being fixed. So we slept in the cold, hoping to meet the man in the next morning. Still, he did not come. On the 3rd day, he called and said we should buy 2 hens and 2 roosters, 1 kilogram of groundnuts, 2 kilograms of beans, and 1 liter of alcohol. He He was telling us to keep buying some things, like expensive bags, and my son would tell me to hurry up. The next morning, the witch doctor showed up in a car and they both entered and headed towards a mountain where they met other people with some rituals being practiced. People drinking, other playing with keys, opening some big stuffs. It was somehow confusing to them, while handing them a few dollars and telling them to bring 90 chickens. We said it was too much for us as those chickens costed a lot. They told us to give them 800,000 Ugandan shillings. And I said right now, we don't even have transport to take us back. They gave us transport and the bag, which we knew it was full of money, and we kept it somewhere. But they still had to pay for those chickens, and he deceived a person who gave him a loan and gave him his money hoping to buy a plot of land. And that wasn't enough because they told them to bring 48 cows, or 5 million Ugandan shillings, and roads like those of kings. 5 of them. They replied, they've never met a king and there's no way they can know his road. And they told them to get those roads in Kenya and buying them to a Maasai tribe, which was even more expensive. My son had seen some dollars and lost his mind, and he always pushed me to provide for whatever they requested. And I told him that those people might be scamming us, as we had got into a lot of debt and loans everywhere, and we couldn't even think twice, as we imagined that soon we would become billionaires. They kept getting loans, telling people that they had hot and sure deals that would generate more and more, which brought trust, and they were given more money that they had to be paid with big interest. Another day, we met in a warehouse, and they had some bags full of cash, but told us to go somewhere that police would not find us. There, they promised to call us back, and we left the place. From there, we never heard of them again, and they never called us back, leaving me helpless and hopeless. And at home, those whom we have taken their money and promised to bring them a lot more money with interest were also hunting us up and down, ready to kill us. But I had a large plantation I gave them to harvest for 3 years to avoid being killed, but still, it wasn't enough. They reported the case to police officers, and he who scammed them was taken to prison, and this man's son confessed that he had been working with witch doctors for 6 years. It was basically his plan to con his dad, and they would share money, and he too was taken to prison. When trying to be rich and make it in this world, they scammed me and took me 1.3 million Ugandan shillings, and now my life is at stake. I owe many people a lot of money, and having sold most of my properties, surviving is also difficult, plus having no job. The only advantage I've got is that I should repay in a long period. The story of Idrisa serves as a cautionary tale, reminding us that the path to prosperity is not paved with blind faith or quick fixes. It urges us to question the promises that seem too good to be true, and to tread cautiously when tempted by illusions of glory. Thank you for watching. I'm Elijah, and this is Afrimax English. Remember to subscribe.